Hi, I'm Grisas. Today we're talking about Magnus because yesterday when I was talking about Coco, someone commented that Magnus kind of becomes obsolete or get power crept by Coco. So I have Magnus and I like him, so I just want to talk about him really fast. So what is his pros and cons? And there's not many Magnus guides on the internet right now. There's this guy on YouTube, Lock D. He made like a Magnus guide, and I think that's a pretty good guide. I disagree with a few things, such as the basic attack, and I also got forceful cast or forceful throw, a forceful cast, and I'll showcase this so you guys know what this ability does and decide if you want to Castalia this, because this is Cry of Victory is like the better choice overall. All right, so Magnus, his trait is really good. He reduces like attack of enemies and defense of enemies in 3 tiles around him, and also he gains bonus attack based on 20% of his bonus defense. So let's look at 3 stars is where he like you kind of like just take him to 3 stars if you want. 1 star is good enough, but take him to 3 stars. This is a pretty good power spike. And this is basically 12% and 30% of his physical defense. Let's just like look at like if we just on Magnus, usually you'll get around 1200 physical defense if you just like build him right. And obviously that's like not even like the highest you can go, but like that's just like an average number. And if you just apply like the 30%, and then like also if you apply Hollow Axe before that, that's around like 400 attack. What is 400 attack? 400 attack is a single level 50 weapon. That is kind of amazing, honestly. And also, let's just look at his rank 5 of his trait. Rank 5 trait, the biggest change of rank 5 is 4 tiles instead of 3. What does 4 tiles mean? 4 tiles means most ranged attackers will be in range when they're attacking you. So usually ranged attackers have like attack range of like 3 or something, so like they'll be like 4 tiles away. And if you only had 3 tiles of like the debuff, then they would not be affected. 4 tiles, they will be affected. So 5 stars is good, but like Magnus is just not someone you might take to 5 stars because, you know, that is a big investment. So let's just look at his most important skills, because if you want to just look at all his skills, just go to Lock D's video. He goes over all of them. I'm just going to go over like his basic build. Basic attack, you have the Mighty Swing. I really like this basic attack because it's, first of all, you can use it at range. This is range 1 to 2. And also it's an AoE attack, so you cannot dodge it. Like a lot of assassins actually have dodge, right? A lot of seekers have dodge, and he counters seekers by both having like, he's a defender, so he counters seekers, and his basic attack is an AoE, so seekers cannot dodge it. That's something I think that is neglected, but you know, I'm just gonna say it. So second of all, reaction, you want hardening. This is okay, but hardening just lets him survive longer. This is just better. His like starting ability, Mountain Breaker, this is a good multiplier, but that's not what's important. The thing important is Cry of Victory. Once you use Mountain Breaker, the Cry of Victory will be triggered, which is attack down on all enemies within 5 tiles of you and grants all allies within 5 tiles around you the damage bonus up to. Some people say this is global. It is not. It's only 5 tiles for allies, and both allies and enemies. And also, this also can be triggered when an enemy is slaying 2 tiles around you. So this is another way this can be triggered. And finally, this completes the loadout. This is his leader's aura. For all Fortitude characters, increase attack, well, this we already know. Then the secondary effect is decrease damage taken by 10% if healthy. That's pretty good. And become immune to the negative effects of the injured state, which is when you're set below 70%, reduce damage dealt and increase damage taken by 20%. This is like top tier aura. Now let's look at who is in Fortitude. Fortitude, Gloria, amazing character. Xavier, right, like he's okay. Dantelian, really good. Garcia and Momo, like these are all pretty good characters. So like once they become tankier and also just don't get affected by injured state, these are just top tier, right? Now let's look at his equipment. Hollow Axe, because obviously this is almost a signature weapon for him. This is like made for him. Increases his defense by 10% and gains bonus physical attack equal to 8% physical defense and magical defense. So I mean, my stats aren't very good, but with good stats, you can get up to like 1200 here, 800 here maybe. So that would be around like 200 attack. So that's half a weapon basically, and you're also getting some bonus defense and magical defense. So for Trinket, if you want him to just be tankier, Rejection Mask is very good because his magic defense is going to be slightly lower. So this will help him tank some magic attacks more. Otherwise, you can always go, for example, August Scroll. I don't have it. That one's like because he's fast, he can give it to people like early. What else? You can throw on like Mystery Garden on him to make him tankier. Cooling powder, maybe. I mean, there's just lots of things you can give it to him, right? Like Spring Pill. You can give him Disaster Bottle because he moves early, as I said, so you can throw this Catastrophe on someone early on, right? And finally, Crystal Burst Armor if you're using the Strike Back here, but like I'm not, so not really like recommended, right? Finally, Turrets. Like obviously he's a defender, so I mean tank. So like Hermit is always just like the default thing that you throw on people, but also Devil is really good because you're getting more defense, and his like trait is snapshotting his like defense into like attack. So like getting Devils, you're stacking his attack double because it's both coming from the attack from Devil and also defense transferring into attack when he's attacking. Otherwise, you can run Magician for extra damage because his basic attack is like a what is it called, AOE, and also if you're running Forceful Cast, this kind of helps. Otherwise, Redemption of Judgment, right? Like this is just dispelling attribute buffs. Finally, let's go into game, and I'll show you both his basic attack and his Forceful Cast to see what you can do with it. Let's just quickly go in game. What was the level that I was testing on? This one? Okay. Just bear with me for 1 second. So his main problem, I'll just say, is he's kind of slow, right? He doesn't have a lot of movement. When he gets there, often like enemies are already dead. So first of all, he can throw explosive barrels. So he can take the barrel and throw it, right? Like he can just go here, boom, grab the barrel, throw the barrel, boom. See, that's kind of cool, right? Like, I mean, is it useful? Maybe not, but like that's just kind of cool. And then let's look at another one. We'll just like, let's just stand by here. Give him some brilliance boss. I mean, let's just make it faster. Otherwise, he's good. He's just slow. That's just the main issue. Like other than that, he's like okay. Let's just stand by here. Edda, now this is the second one. I just wanted to showcase that Edda can make a box. So Edda's box can be thrown as well. Let's just keep standing by. So you can grab the box and just throw it. Like it's just kind of funny, right? Like you can throw a box. You can throw a wolf as well, right? Like obviously, you can just do this instead of like throwing the. You can just throw the wolf. See, I mean, now he also gives the buffs to everyone, and then finally, let's just go over fast, and then I'll show you his basic attack because I think his basic attack is really good. And I'll show you what you can do with it. Just bear with me. This will be really fast. Stand by. Okay, so look, basic attack. I can basic attack from here. That's what I mean, right? Like, so for example, if you don't have enough range, you can't walk somewhere, you can just like attack from here, and then you can also attack from like the side. Like you don't have to like, you can be diagonal to the enemy. you can be one tile away from the enemy anywhere, right? And then also you can just there's like this AoE, which is nice. And then what else can you do? You can like stand one tile away. For example, if you want to proc like a barrel or something, like okay, there's like a barrel right here. I'm gonna like spawn a barrel, and I don't want to auto attack this barrel. I can do this, right? I can proc a barrel as a range attack. So I just think this is a really good basic attack, and I think that's better than just the lifesteal, 20% lifesteal. Yeah, that's just kind of bad. Otherwise, you can see what his problem is. He's just kind of slow. He's not really good when you're chasing down enemies. Everyone's dead when he gets there. It is what it is sometimes. And yeah, I think that's it. He's just very strong. He has a very strong trait. He has very strong debuffs. Let's just quickly go over some of his best teammates. His best teammates, Gloria obviously solves a little bit of his movement issue and just buffs, and also like she gets the aura, so that's really good. Another one, Dantelion. Dantelion gets like his debuffs really just enable Dantelion to get his like aura buff as well. And Xavier really helps Xavier to like not be injured state and just like do a lot of damage and be more tanky. Yeah, so I mean, hey, maybe this inspires you to build Magnus, maybe it doesn't. But like I don't think you should pull for him, but if you just like luck into him on like a failed 50-50 or something, he's still a great character. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please subscribe. I'll link Lock-D's video down below. I'll also link some of my just research also down below. And yeah, that's it.